In the vibrant era of the 1970s, surrounded by the pulsating rhythms of disco and the earthy aroma of patchouli, Maren resided in a charming suburban house with my husband, Katon, and our cherished dog, Jax. The air was perpetually infused with the sweet earthy scent of the incense I lit, an attempt to fill the void that appeared to expand with every day that went by. Once upon a time, there was a diligent engineer named Katon who frequently embarked on business journeys, leaving me in the faithful company of Jax, our devoted German shepherd. His absence transformed the hours into a vast landscape of loneliness, each moment unfolding like a tale waiting to be told. Our life unfolded like a beautiful tale, rich with barbecues, neighborhood gatherings, and the simple joys of domestic bliss. Yet beneath this facade of everyday life, I carried within me a hidden truth, a profound sense of isolation that eluded my ability to express. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I found myself on the porch, observing Jax as he spun in circles, his exuberance a vivid counterpoint to the storm brewing within me. In the stillness of the neighborhood, the only sounds were the soft drone of a lawnmower in the distance and the joyful giggles of children at play. The golden light of the setting sun cast long shadows, painting the world in hues of amber and gold, yet it did little to soothe the chill that lingered in my heart. Katon was set to return from his latest adventure, and I was getting ready for his arrival, but an unsettling feeling lingered in the air. A sense of disconnection lingered within me, not only from Katon but also from my own essence. The air was thick with expectation, yet a shadow loomed over the thought of his arrival, whispering that our meeting might only deepen the chasm that had formed between us. I recall the last time he was home, the sensation of his touch felt far away, nearly routine. We had shared an intimate moment, yet it felt as if we were merely performing a routine, a choreographed movement instead of the fervent connection of two spirits united. The closeness was palpable, yet the bond felt absent, overshadowed by an emptiness that no degree of physical proximity could remedy. I rose to my feet, shaking off the traces of the day from my dress, and stepped inside. The house loomed vast and hollow, echoing with silence. I meandered through the spaces, brushing my fingers over the furnishings, the images adorning the walls, as if to evoke the memories of the life we had crafted side by side. Every object appeared to murmur narratives of joyful moments while simultaneously resonating with the quiet of my loneliness. Jax trailed behind me, his tail a joyful blur, his gaze brimming with unwavering affection. He was my guiding light in these times, his presence soothing my wandering soul. As I knelt down, my fingers found their way to the soft fur behind his ears, and I could feel the comforting warmth radiating from him. "How would I navigate this journey without you, Jax?" I murmured softly, as if sharing a secret with my own thoughts rather than addressing him directly. The sound of the doorbell broke the spell of my thoughts. I stood tall, adjusting my dress, and made my way to the door. My heart raced not from thrill, but from a flutter of anxious expectation. Katon stood there, suitcase in hand, exuding charm, but his eyes held a depth that spoke of untold experiences. "Hey there, sweetheart," he said, his voice weary yet comforting. As he entered, the suitcase fell to the floor with a heavy thud, echoing in the stillness of the house. As we held each other close, I was momentarily wrapped in the warmth of his embrace, yet it slipped away all too quickly. "What tales do you have from the trip?" I inquired, attempting to convey interest, yet my tone revealed the conflict within me. He let out a long sigh, pulling back to meet my gaze, but a sense of relief washed over him as he expressed his happiness to be back home. We ventured into the kitchen, a space where I had crafted a humble feast. The clinking of dishes, the soft murmur of the radio playing a slow ballad created an atmosphere reminiscent of a cinematic moment where the characters moved through their routines, oblivious to the tempest lurking just out of sight. As we shared our meal, I observed him closely, searching for the essence of the man I once adored within the weary contours of his visage. He shared tales of his work, weaving narratives about the new project that had drawn him away for longer than expected, yet his words danced in the air just out of reach of my ears. After dinner, we gathered on the couch, the television casting a soft glow in the background. Katon's hand found mine, and for a fleeting moment I felt the flicker of our past, but as he leaned in to kiss me, I turned away, the chasm of solitude too wide to cross with just a kiss. I'm not feeling my best." The truth slipped away, leaving a sour aftertaste. He nodded, grasping the surface, yet the depths eluded him. That night we lay in bed side by side, yet feeling as if we were galaxies away from one another. The shadows loomed heavy, brimming with silent tales and lingering curiosities. I lay awake, attuned to the steady rhythm of Katon's breathing as the heaviness of my solitude enveloped me. Jax, picking up on my unease, nestled at the foot of the bed, his warmth a gentle solace amid the expanse of my solitude. As I slipped into a fitful slumber, a curious thought lingered in my mind: what could ever disturb this serene existence? The response I dreaded lingered inside me, a tempest poised to erupt. The following morning, I stirred to the sound of Katon bustling around the house. His presence enveloped the room in a comforting embrace that I had longed for, and for a fleeting instant the solitude appeared to fade away. We slipped seamlessly into our familiar rhythm, sharing the morning ritual of coffee and gentle exchanges about his recent journey. He shared tales of the new project, the fascinating individuals he encountered, and the vibrant cities he explored. I listened intently, nodding along, yet my mind wandered, ensnared in the intricate tapestry of my own reflections. As Katon departed for work, the home slipped back into its familiar stillness. The feeling of solitude, which had always been by my side, came back, enveloping me like a thick, heavy garment. To escape my thoughts, I immersed myself in housework, the routine chores providing a brief escape from the chaos within. As I tidied up my space, arranging everything just so, I found myself drawn to the garden. With my hands deep in the soil, I could sense the rhythm of the earth beneath my fingertips, a connection that spoke volumes. Yet it was during those extended strolls with Jax that I found my genuine comfort. We would meander through the neighborhood, past the well-kept homes with their tidy lawns, down to the park where the trees shared their quiet tales in the breeze. Jax's leash was merely a gesture. He was as familiar with the path as I was. These walks were our moment, a cherished realm, where I could allow my thoughts to drift, venturing into realms I wouldn't dare to explore under the bright sun. One evening, after Katon had retired early, citing exhaustion from his journeys, I found myself in the living room with Jax, the quiet ambience inviting a moment of connection. The house was still, with the only noise being the steady ticking of the grandfather clock, a cherished gift from Katon's parents that felt like it was marking the passage of my solitude. Jax, attuned to my feelings, nestled closer, his warmth a soothing balm against the coldness of my mind. We engaged in play, his vibrant energy sparking joy within me, if only for a fleeting moment. The game was straightforward, a simple fetch with an old tennis ball, yet it was during these moments that I sensed a bond not only with Jax, but with something more profound, something instinctual. As we played, I observed the way his eyes shimmered with vitality, how his body flowed with a fluidity that resembled a dance. Our play held a deep connection, a bond that went beyond the mere physical realm. Jax's enthusiasm burst forth like fireworks, his joy illuminating the shadows of my inner desolation. But what unfolds when play evolves into something deeper? As Jax returned with the ball, his tail wagging with excitement, I couldn't help but laugh, a sound that felt strange yet delightful to my ears. Once more I launched the ball into the air, observing as he dashed after it, full of joy and enthusiasm. This time when he came back, he held onto the ball, keeping it close instead of letting it fall at my feet. Instead, he pushed it closer to me, his gaze fixed on mine, inviting a playful contest. I extended my hand towards the ball, and for a fleeting moment my fingers brushed against his paw. In that moment, an undeniable energy filled the air, causing me to stop and take notice. I leaned back, the ball slipping from my mind as Jax nestled onto the couch next to me, his head comfortably resting on my lap. As I caressed him, I felt the warmth of his breath and the softness of his fur beneath my fingertips, each moment weaving a tale of connection and comfort. As we sat together, the walls closed in and the outside world slipped away, becoming a mere whisper in the background. In this moment, a sense of connection enveloped everything, leaving no space for emptiness. In the stillness, there was a bond with a being that offered love unconditionally. A connection that transcended the need for language. The deep, resonant chime of the grandfather clock echoed through the room, shattering the enchanting silence that had enveloped everything. I gazed upward, the truth of my existence coming down like a heavy wave. Katon lay upstairs, lost in slumber, oblivious to the profound loneliness that enveloped me, to the tempest gathering inside my heart. And here I was discovering comfort in the presence of our dog, in a simple game that had evolved into something deeper, something that suggested the contours of my own longings, my own yearning for connection. I bent closer, murmuring to Jax, "You're the only one who truly understands me, aren't you?" His ears twitched with curiosity, and our gazes locked in a connection that transcended mere words. In that gaze, I perceived a deep sense of understanding, warmth, and an unspoken vow to stand together through any challenges that lay ahead. The night unfolded, the house enveloped in silence, broken only by the gentle snores of Jax beside me and the steady, soothing breaths of Katon upstairs. In that moment, I realized that my solitude extended beyond mere physical isolation. It was rooted in a deeper sense of invisibility and dissatisfaction, even when surrounded by those who ought to understand me most. As I sat there feeling Jax's warmth beside me, it dawned on me that maybe in this stillness, in this solitude, I could uncover the courage to face the turmoil inside, to pursue the bond I yearned for so deeply. As the days slipped into weeks, the weight of solitude deepened. One evening after a particularly long day, I found myself feeling more exposed than usual. Jax, always watchful, stood close beside me. In a fleeting moment of vulnerability, yearning for solace. In my loneliness, I found unusual comfort in the quiet companionship of Jax, a moment that made me realize just how isolated I'd become. What began as pure fondness transformed into an unexpected journey I never planned for. The moment of understanding washed over me with overwhelming force. My heart sank not only because of the deed itself but also due to the deep sense of betrayal I felt towards the promises I made to Katon. In that moment, I found myself engulfed in disbelief, my thoughts swirling with a tumult of remorse and uncertainty. How could I have allowed this to unfold? The burden of my choices pressed heavily upon me, turning each inhale into a whispered revelation. I found myself in a moment of stillness. Jax's head nestled comfortably on my lap, his eyes gently shut in serene sleep, unaware of the storm brewing inside me. My hands, which had just moments before been immersed in his fur, now felt foreign, as if they were the hands of another. The stillness of the home echoed with my remorse. With every tick of the grandfather clock, I felt the weight of time passing, a gentle nudge from the past, whispering tales of moments forever lost. I carefully shifted Jax from my lap, feeling the chill settle in where his warmth had been. I rose to my feet, my legs trembling, and made my way to the window, gazing into the shadows beyond. The streetlights painted the pavement with elongated solitary silhouettes, reflecting the void that lingered within me. It was as if I stood at the brink of an abyss, gazing into a void crafted by my own hands. The idea of sharing my truth with Katon lingered in my thoughts, yet the dread of how he might respond, the possibility of unraveling the life we had built together, kept me from speaking up. The idea of losing him, of watching everything we had created slip away, was unbearable. Yet the hidden truth lingered in my mind. It was a vibrant entity, expanding with every fleeting moment, poised to engulf me from within. I understood that I couldn't conceal this indefinitely, yet the other option felt just as intolerable. I sank back onto the couch, the weight of the world pressing down as I buried my face in my hands. Jax, picking up on my unease, nestled back onto my lap, his tail gently tapping against the cushions. His presence evoked a sense of solace while also bringing to mind the events that had unfolded. As I gently caressed his fur, seeking comfort in the well-known, my mind began to wander. What would happen if Katon discovered the truth? What if another pair of eyes caught a glimpse? In that quaint little neighborhood, whispers traveled like the wind, weaving through the meticulously maintained gardens and the perfectly pruned hedges, revealing tales hidden beneath the surface. As darkness enveloped the world, my determination to guard the secret grew stronger. This single moment of vulnerability couldn't be allowed to unravel all that I've built. I would hide it away, secure it tightly, and perhaps, just perhaps, life could find its way back to a sense of normalcy. Yet as I arrived at this choice, a whisper within me recognized the futility of it all. Whispers like this have a tendency to emerge, to insist on being recognized. They evolve, they expand, and they transform you. I settled next to Jax, the couch, becoming our common sanctuary. His steady breathing painted a calm picture while my thoughts swirled like a tempest. I shut my eyes, hoping to summon the embrace of sleep to whisk me away from this reality, if only for a fleeting moment. In the shadows, I murmured softly, "I will find a way to set things straight. In some way, I will find a path to set things straight." Yet the words resonated with emptiness, akin to a vow whispered in slumber, destined to vanish with the dawn's embrace. The following days unfolded like a whirlwind. As I navigated the routine of my days, cleaning, cooking, walking, Jax, there lingered a heavy secret resting like a stone in my stomach. Every time I gazed at Katon, I perceived not only the man I cherished, but also the looming shadows that threatened to unravel our shared journey. I steered clear of moments alone with Jax, haunted by the possibilities of what could unfold, anxious about my own actions, or even more so, the emotions that might surface. Our walks dwindled, becoming brief and rare, as if by reducing our moments together, I could somehow wipe away the memories of what had transpired. Yet the harder I attempted to pull away, the more Jax appeared to pursue me, his devotion steadfast, his desire for my love unaltered. It felt like he could perceive the chaos within me, yearning to offer solace, completely unaware that he was the very cause of my unease. The pressure inside me intensified, a quiet cry, yearning to escape at any instant. I felt the transformation within me evolving into a stranger, a person capable of harboring a shadowy truth. As time went on, I found myself pondering whether Maren could maintain this secret, or if it would ultimately disrupt her entire existence. The response I dreaded lingered inside me, a tempest poised to erupt. The days that came after were a whirlwind of events. I steered clear of Jax, my feelings of guilt taking shape as a desire to escape. Katon picked up on my shift in demeanor, inquiring if all was well. I spun a tale of weariness masking the turmoil within as I felt myself unraveling. The weight of the secret gnawed at my insides, and each time Jax gazed at me with those innocent eyes, a sharp twist of guilt pierced my heart. One evening, Katon proposed an outing, a chance to rekindle the magic between us. I nodded, wishing it would pull me away from the chaos within. At dinner, I observed Katon, his laughter, his narratives, and sensed the gap between us grow deeper. His hand grazed against mine, and I recoiled, the contact resonating like a silent judgment. The restaurant was softly illuminated, creating a romantic atmosphere, yet my mind was consumed by the secret I carried within. Katon's gaze locked onto mine as if he were on a quest for something lost, maybe the bond we had cherished in the past. "You've seemed so far away these days," he murmured, his tone gentle and filled with worry. I managed to grin, my heart pounding in my chest. "There's so much swirling in my thoughts," I responded, my voice scarcely rising above a whisper. The discussion shifted to more cheerful subjects, yet my thoughts wandered, revisiting that evening with Jax repeatedly. The weight of remorse wrapped around me, stifling each inhale. After dinner, we strolled through the park, the cool night air brushing against my flushed cheeks, each step weaving memories into the fabric of the evening. Katon's arm around me felt like a tether, anchoring me to a reality I was now pretending to embrace. We paused at a bench, and he drew me near, his lips searching for mine. I kissed him back, yet it felt empty, a mere echo of what it used to be. As we strolled back to the car, a wave of unease washed over me. What if he picked up on my shame? What if he inquired further? My imagination spun tales, each one more troubling than the previous. Upon returning home, the stillness enveloped the house, a reminder of Jax's missing presence. Katon proposed we dive into a movie, but I found a way to slip away, citing a headache as my reason. In the stillness of our bedroom, I found myself enveloped in darkness, the burden of my hidden truth heavy upon my chest. The following morning, I stirred awake to discover that Katon had already left for work. The house held a haunting stillness, with the only noise being the relentless ticking of the clock, a persistent echo of the moment slipping away the existence I was forsaking. I attempted to occupy my mind with various tasks, yet each one seemed like a scene to maintain a facade. I set out on a quest for groceries, seeking solace in the ordinary moments of life. While browsing through the aisles, I unexpectedly crossed paths with Mrs. Henderson, our neighbor. Her eyes, ever so keen, appeared to pierce right into my soul. "You seem burdened, my dear," she remarked, her tone filled with empathy. I offered a faint smile. "My sleep has been elusive lately." I spoke untruths, the flavor lingering like burnt remnants on my tongue. With every step I took on my way home, the burden of my hidden truth felt heavier, as if it were a tale waiting to be told. Jack stood at the door, his tail wagging with joy, completely unaware of the tempest brewing within me. Every time I glanced his way, a wave of remorse washed over me. As time flowed on, my distance from Jax grew ever clearer. Amidst his bustling tasks, Katon remained oblivious to the shift in our daily rhythm, yet Jax was keenly aware. His eyes trailed after me, a wordless yearning for the warmth he had once embraced without hesitation. One evening, while Katon was immersed in his work, I found myself once more in the company of Jax, the air thick with unspoken tales waiting to unfold. In the stillness of the house, the gentle rhythm of rain danced against the windows, weaving a serene backdrop to the unfolding moments within. Jax rested at my feet, his head nestled in my lap, gazing up at me with a profound sense of trust and affection. As I caressed his soft fur, a shiver ran through my fingers. "Forgive me, Jax," I murmured, my voice trembling. "My apologies." The tempest outside reflected the turmoil within my soul. Deep down, I realized I couldn't maintain this facade any longer. The weight of the hidden truth was consuming me. Yet the dread of losing Katon, of watching everything slip away, held my tongue captive. That night, as I settled into bed, I felt Katon's arm gently resting over me. In that moment, a profound sense of solitude enveloped me. The shadows loomed heavy, brimming with silent tales and lingering curiosities. Jax, picking up on my unease, nestled at the foot of the bed, his warmth a gentle solace amidst the expanse of my solitude. As I slipped into a restless slumber, my mind wandered to the unfolding of Marin's hidden truth and the tales it might weave. The response I dreaded lingered inside me, a tempest poised to unleash itself. It was a moment that caught everyone off guard. In a bid to lift my spirits, Katon proposed that we take Jax for a stroll together. The idea of being close to Jax sent a shiver down my spine. As we strolled along, Jax, ever the playful spirit, leaped onto me, and in that instant a wave of guilt washed over me. I found myself unraveling, sharing all my secrets with Katon right there on the sidewalk. I found myself in a situation that I deeply regret, Katon. I began, my voice quivering as I searched for the right words to share. That night, while you were gone, Jax and I found ourselves caught up in a game that spiraled out of control. I let the emotions overwhelm me only to realize how deeply I missed human connection and understanding, and ever since I've been burdened by this hidden truth, this weight of remorse. Katon's expression transformed from bewilderment to astonishment, eventually settling into a blend of pain and incredulity. His gaze locked onto mine as if he were on a quest to uncover the Maren he once cherished, the one who would never turn her back on him like this. The stillness that ensued was overwhelming. He turned and walked away, leaving me with Jax, who appeared to understand the weight of the moment, resting silently beside me. I stood there, the burden of my revelation lingering in the atmosphere like a dense mist. Jax's tale had lost its joyful rhythm, his ears hung low, and his eyes, once vibrant with energy, now reflected the weight of my sadness. As I stood there, it was as if the walls were closing in, and with every step Katon took, the familiar life I once knew began to fade into the shadows. The journey home felt like a haze of fleeting moments. Jax lingered nearby, his presence a comforting weight against my leg, a quiet testament to his unwavering support. My imagination soared with visions of what might unfold next. Is there a chance that Katon might find it in his heart to forgive me? Can our union endure this challenge? As I stepped inside, a chill enveloped me, the space feeling desolate and hollow, even as the sun's golden rays streamed through the windows. As I settled onto the couch, Jax nestled at my feet, his head gently resting on my lap. His eyes gazed up at me, reflecting a profound understanding that only a true friend could convey. Time slipped away and the stillness deepened. All I could do was remain still, lost in the moment, anticipating Katon's return. The grandfather clock, once a source of solace, now echoed with a taunting rhythm, its steady, relentless ticking filling the room with an unsettling presence. When Katon finally returned, his expression was a mystery. He chose not to take a seat. He lingered by the door, suitcase clutched tightly, as if the next chapter of his journey was just a heartbeat away. Maren, he started, his voice soft and filled with tension. I seek to uncover the truth. What led to this situation unfolding? As I spoke, my voice trembled with emotion and the tears flowed freely, revealing the deep sense of isolation that had taken root inside me. Jax had emerged as my refuge, the sole beacon of warmth in my otherwise desolate world. Yet as I shared my thoughts, it became clear how empty my expressions felt, how they could never truly capture the essence of what had transpired. There I was, wandering in the dark. Katon. In that moment, a profound sense of solitude enveloped me, and Jax, he was present, steadfast and unwavering, with a love that knew no bounds. It wasn't focused on that, it wasn't centered around that. It was about experiencing a spark, a flicker of emotion in the void. Katon's jaw tightened, his gaze avoiding mine. Did you really believe that was the solution, to find emotional closeness in a place I never expected? That was the betrayal. The term betray pierced my heart like a sharp blade. I didn't consider Katon. That's the essence of it. In the midst of my struggles and longing for companionship, I became blind to the world around me. He moved back and forth, each step weighted, his thoughts visibly grappling with the consequences. I'm not sure I can move beyond this, Maren. Your trust was placed in me, and now I find myself at a loss for thoughts. The atmosphere was thick, as if the very space around me was compressing, the walls inching closer with every heartbeat. I understand, I murmured, my voice just a soft breath. I acknowledge that I've shattered that trust, and I deeply regret it. While I understand if forgiveness isn't in the cards, I felt it was important for you to hear the truth from me. He paused, his restless movements fixing his gaze on me, a blend of anguish and determination in his eyes. I require some time, Maren. It's a moment to reflect, to ponder whether I can ever view you through the same lens again. With that, he turned and ascended the stairs, the sound of his footsteps resonating like a verdict being delivered in a solemn hall. I found myself in a moment of stillness where the quiet felt overwhelming, with Jax's comforting presence being the sole connection to the world around me. The night unfolded, every passing minute heavy with the weight of endless possibilities. As I lay there, the night wrapped around me, I could hear the faint echoes of Katon's movements above. The subtle creaks of the floorboards whispered secrets, and the gentle click of a door closing added to the tapestry of the evening. Jax, aware of my inner struggle, remained close, his presence a gentle solace amidst the overwhelming expanse of my solitude. As the first light of day seeped through the curtains, I came to understand the full weight of my actions. The tempest that raged inside me had finally unleashed itself, leaving me to confront the remnants of its fury. Could this revelation spell the conclusion of our union? The response I dreaded lingered inside me, a tempest poised to erupt. In the days that followed, the house transformed into a silent witness, echoing with the memories of our once vibrant joy. Katon and I hardly exchanged a word, the air around us heavy with the weight of things left unsaid. I embarked on a journey of self-discovery, delving into my choices, my solitude, and the road ahead. Every session unfolded like a tale, taking me deep into the recesses of my mind where I faced the emptiness that had driven me to break the trust of the man I cherished. After a period of deep reflection, Katon concluded that he required some time apart to gather his thoughts. He stepped away for a while, leaving me with Jax, who transformed into my quiet partner in this unfamiliar world. The home, once alive with joy and comfort, now resonated with my lonely steps and Jax's gentle whimpers, as if he too sensed the heaviness of our broken family. I came to embrace my mistake not as a mark of disgrace but as a narrative woven with threads of solitude, bonds, and the intricate tapestry of human feelings. As time unfolded, I found myself on a journey of self-discovery, each moment revealing new layers of who I am. I immersed myself in psychology books, participated in support groups, and expressed my deepest thoughts in journals, striving to reconstruct the pieces of my identity that had been dispersed by my choices. One evening, as I sat alone with Jax, the stillness was interrupted by the sudden ring of the phone. It was Katon, the one who always had a tale to share. His voice wavered, carrying a blend of sorrow and optimism. "Shall we have a conversation?" he inquired, and I consented, my heart racing with a blend of trepidation and desire. We gathered at a familiar spot, a quaint little cafe that held memories from our early days together. The warmth of the surroundings wrapped around me like an old cherished tale, evoking a sense of nostalgia and longing. Katon appeared transformed, aged beyond his years, his gaze reflecting the burden of our collective grief. We shared our thoughts for hours, not focusing on the incident, but exploring everything else: our aspirations, our anxieties, and the unique paths we each traveled while we were apart. In our discussions, it became clear that Katon was grappling with his own struggles, battling feelings of neglect and isolation in his professional life. He revealed that he had also experienced a sense of disconnection, not only from me but from his own self as well. This shared unveiling marked a pivotal moment. We had transformed into different souls, no longer the individuals who once intertwined their lives. We had become people who had navigated deep struggles both on our own and side by side. The journey to reconciliation was not swift. The journey was marked by a gradual and arduous effort to mend the bonds of trust, to grasp the depths of one another's suffering, and to embrace the power of forgiveness. Katon returned home, yet the dynamics between us had shifted irreversibly. We created fresh limits, innovative methods of connection, and above all, meaningful ways to support one another. Our closeness had transformed, taking on a new layer of care and intention. We discovered how to share our needs, our desires, and our fears in a meaningful way. The bond we shared, previously overlooked, transformed into a cherished realm we approached with respect and shared understanding. It transcended the mere action, evolving into a profound bond, a comforting presence, and the soothing embrace of empathy. Jax, always the quiet watcher, appeared to feel the change in our relationship. His playful spirit blossomed once more, his tail wagging with a lively enthusiasm that had been missing during the bleakest times. He was the thread that wove together our history and the dawn of what was to come. As time flowed on, the journey of our relationship transformed. We discovered a fresh path to share our lives, not as the lovers we used to be, but as companions who had navigated the tempest side by side. We embarked on a journey through therapy, discovering ways to express ourselves more clearly, to truly hear one another, and to nurture each other's development. What lies ahead for Myron, Katon, and Jax? It was a journey brimming with the promise of laughter and heartache. Yet it was a journey we would embark on side by side, enriched by our insights into love, betrayal, and the unwavering strength of the human spirit. We discovered that love encompasses more than just joyful moments. It involves weathering the tempest, finding the resilience to forgive, and having the bravery to start anew. In this new chapter, we discovered not only one another, but also the essence of who we truly are. As we journeyed through life with Jax accompanying us, we understood that whatever lay ahead, we would confront it together, united by a connection shaped by our shared experiences, strengthened by our desire to evolve, and nourished by the quiet, unwavering affection of our devoted friend. If you found this tale captivating, be sure to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. This will assist us in crafting more captivating narratives for you.